Yes, next class is about layer styles. Okay, layer styles, blending options. So, what is the actual layer styles and the blending options? A layer style is simply one or more layer effects and blending options applied to a layer. Layer effects are things like drop shadows, stroke, and color overlays, right? So, where we find all these things, layer styles and all, we'll explain by doing some practical work, right? Okay. Suppose take any pick example. Yeah, any pick of these two. Okay, this and this. Okay, these are the pictures I'm taking as a reference. And suppose remove any background from this and you can add some effects, then we'll understand, right? Here what I'll do, I'll make some text. Styles, layer styles. So take some different interesting text. Yeah, I'll take this, make it bold. Okay, it is in bold only, and take any color. Suppose I'm using make it red. Okay, yes. Make it bigger size, so control T. Yeah, this is now. Okay, if you find here in the layer area here, suppose in the particular layer it's showing layer styles, of course this is the background. So instead of this thing you can add any a normal layer also instead of this any background. So for support I'm adding just any pick background, otherwise you can use any kind of background. Okay, I'll do one thing, I'll take a normal a white background for time being, then you'll understand. So I'm using alt backspace to fill this foreground color, alt backspace. Okay, so now this is come to a text layer, layer styles. Okay, yes, here right click here on that layer and you can find here layer blend options, blending options, right? So click here. So see, there is a layer style. In the layer styles, different blending options are there, right? So by right clicking, you'll find this, or otherwise double click on this layer, not here. So if you double click, so it is choosing for the name, layer name, right? So beside here, double click, you will find the same. Okay, layer style. In layer style, first if you observe here, there are some boxes are there, so empty boxes, right? First choose the blending option, so bevel and emboss. For example, I'm choosing this, right? Added this one. Now see something, the black embossedness, the bevel embossedness added. Okay, if you want to control that one, if you want to add more or otherwise reduce, so click on the same name again. You find here some options are there. Okay, so in blending option, the structure and the style is showing here, it is emboss. Okay, and check the depth. If you want, you can add the depth, more depth. Okay, and make the size big size. Now you're understanding this, right? So embossedness and the style, if you choose the outer bevel, outside the bevel effect it is giving, and inner bevel, suppose it is showing that inside bevel. Yeah, I'll do one thing, I'll make it bit close up. Yeah, then you will understand, right? Bevel. And here click one more time, and you can change all these things. Next to pillow emboss, so it's kind of impression it is giving. See the stamp like the inside of impression it is showing. And here it is a soften. Soften means smooth effect it is giving, right? So depends on your requirement, client requirement, you have to choose this. Okay, and suppose for timing I'm taking emboss and give embossedness, and here up and down. Suppose here it is showing up and this is down, right? So click that down. Now your shadow portion is moving upwards or otherwise downwards. And you can change the depthness if you want. You can change the depthness also. And the technique is smooth, okay, or otherwise chisel hard. These are kind of techniques. You can choose whichever you want. Chisel soft. If you observe here, the edge it is showing the difference. Okay, and then so I'm taking smooth only. Okay, and here see the point by showing the number also you can add the rotations. Here see the number by manually, or otherwise you can turn this. So angle it is adding here, right? And use global light. So global light, okay, and the same number you can choose here, you can adding here. And suppose here see glass contours. So contours are nothing but what some kind of glassy effects. So click here, it's showing that the preset linear, this is linear, and see these are the points. You can choose this point and immediately it is changing to something, right? Interestingly, that is input and output. So input is 49, and we are increasing the input and changing this one. Okay, I'll do one thing. What I'll do, so cancel this one, and I'll add interesting some color background. Then it looks more good. Alt backspace. Yes, something like, right? So lock this one, and I'll change the color also here. So to understand more clearly, so I want to give this color the golden yellow. Okay, now I'll apply the same again. So bevel emboss, and choose the layer style. Yeah, now see, you'll understand. See, this is a golden effect it is giving. See, depends on your requirement, you have to choose these styles. Okay, and suppose if you change that point, the output point, I'll just make it corner. See, it is giving very nice mapping effect. Okay, if you want to load extra somewhere, if you have all these styles, you can upload here. Okay, and suppose if you want to save this, you can save, or otherwise a new, you can make it as a new style. So give any name, custom name, or whatever the name you want to give. But I'm not giving anything. Okay, yeah, and then here next the linear. So this is the linear one, and this is the cone kind of shape. See, so beautiful it is, this, and this is, and you can drag this point, or otherwise you can move this point to this side. Okay, and cone inverted. See, inverted cone, it's a beautiful effect it is giving, right? Yes, interesting. And here it is cone deep. So deep cone, and it has some points. By choosing this one, these are, you are actually changing that result. Okay, and swallow, swallow, and move this according to your requirement. And these are all right. So Gaussian styles, you can on and check the result. This is nice, right? The kind of a glassy effect to ring. Okay, a ring double right? So beautiful poster, unposter design. You can create the beautiful styles. Rolling slope, so descending. Okay. So rounded steps. These are the rounded steps, and it is a Shwato. Okay, and make it just custom and cancel this. Okay, so the same effects here. Suppose by choosing the arrow mark here. So these are what gloss contour. Click to open contour picker, right? So these are the linear thing, and click here. Click to open contour picker, and now see, choose this one. Suppose this is what linear. Before already we used all these things by choosing the graph, and here the same there, giving in a symbol like look like, right, shapes. By choosing this one, you are changing actually the same cone inverted. See, these are all. You can check cone deep. The same already we used all these things, right? Yeah, it is beautiful. Now rolling this one, and this is again click here, and this is click here. Something, this is interesting, right? Yeah, this is interesting. Say okay. Okay, then it is anti-alias, the sharpness it is showing, right? The beautiful it is. Okay, and you can change the color. Suppose here it is showing black and white. Highlight mode. Highlight mode is white. Instead of that, you can choose any golden effect if you want, the golden color, right? So choose this one, and instead of black, you can take any other color, something like it's a red, okay, or otherwise blue, or otherwise it's a green. So beautiful effect this is, right? So interesting, this is interesting, right? So this is a reflection of the same color. Yeah, for timing I'm keeping this one. Save okay, and see here it is a highlight mode. The highlight mode is a screen. Default it is showing. Instead of that, keep this as a normal. Same like blending mode. So depends on the background color, and you choose your colors, right? Blending each other and showing the result. So normal and multiply, and suppose linear burn, the same result it is showing. And suppose lighten, so lighten it has some difference, and overlay, okay, and hard light, it's not much more it is, right? There is no difference, a slight difference it is. So difference is a code. In difference it is showing really some difference, exclusion, right? These are, so depends on our requirement, we have to choose all these things, right? So I'll go with the normal, okay, okay. And the opacity, suppose this yellow here, this yellow opacity, we can increase and decrease, okay. And here it is the blue, multiply, you can give a more blue, and now you can reduce this to, right? Okay, suppose make a default, I reset to a default. So make default, so these settings, whenever you want to create the same style, the next time when you open the layer style, these settings will be your make default, okay. So for that you are planning, if you want to plan the same settings, so you can press here, it can be your default. Otherwise reset to default means that original settings before applying all these things, this style can be something different, right? So we are we have to choose actually, depends on the requirement. So for timing I'm not changing anything, okay. And suppose see the tick mark, when you switch up the tick mark, actually all the options are going off, right? Okay, and now give the contour, and contour and bevel, it is a combination, right? When you click this bevel, Okay, the bevel, so and contour, it is automatically giving this also. Okay, suppose click the contour, the bevel also it is adding. Okay, for the contour, contour means what? The same, the glassy contours what we choose, right? So these are the things. Suppose now we are changing to this. Interesting, right? Yeah, I'll choose this one, something like, yeah, it is. Okay, and reduce the range. So the range is just like the opacity type. So in particular contour, some results are is not showing. Here it is applying the range. Okay, okay, and then off this one, and add texture. So textures, if you choose the texture, automatically the bevelness also it is adding. So you can off this one, and come see these are the three are in a one pack like. So when you want to add, if you want to edit the textureness, so this is also adding, and you can change this the pattern. Textures are nothing but the patterns like, so it's a grass kind of thing. Okay, and here it is a watery kind, so water styles. Okay, and you can add the a scale. Scale means the size of the texture. In preview it is showing actually. Okay, and the depth, you can choose the depth. Okay, and suppose you can add the plus so button, so you can add some more. Okay, and here this is inversion. Inversion means the reverse, it is adding. Link with the layer, if you want you can link. Okay, then switch off this also. Next, stroke, add stroke, and after choosing the tick mark, click on this, so automatically it is giving the details. And the size is suppose 4, here it is showing instead of the big number, so I'm giving small, suppose 2. So the whole the layer style for the yellow portion, the black line is added, right? So suppose choose the color, instead of black you can go with the white, or otherwise some blue. See the blue, interesting, right? And suppose, yeah, choose some blue. Okay, and here the position, if you want inside or outside, this is outside, it's giving outside, and go with the inside. Okay, and here it is center, if you want you can check all these things. Okay, center for time being I'm taking, and blend mode is normal, you can check with the multiply. So multiply, always multiply works, depends on the background and your actual foreground colors. So here it is background means the background color, and here which color you applied for the style, so it is blending each other and giving the result. And suppose it is in screen, you can change all, so it is a difference, it is nice looking. And this is hue, and this is saturation, and this is color, and again it is luminosity, right? So these are all the modes. For timing I'm taking a normal only. And the opacity, suppose opacity means the outside opacity, outside line opacity, make it 0, or otherwise partially something 52, or otherwise 100%. So depends on the requirement we are giving, that overprint. So it is something, it is changing, right? So this overprint. Okay, next here it is actually overprint is a blend stroke against the current layer. Okay, current layer contents. Then here fill type color and gradient. Suppose gradient means if you increase this size, then you will understand. Yeah, this is interesting, right? This size, and I'm choosing this one, gradient. So go with any gradient. I'll choose the style is this blue, okay, and this other side I'll go with some yellow, something like interesting, or otherwise some purpleness. Yeah, this is nice. Make it bit darker. This is nice, right? Say okay and say okay. Okay, so this is the gradient type, or otherwise a pattern. Can give a patterns. See, this is the pattern. You can change the pattern also, choose any patterns, okay, but here I'll use the gradient. It is interesting, and if you want you can change the style, linear, radial, or otherwise reflected, and this is the colors. These are the colors, okay. You can choose all these things in the styles and as well as your gradients also. Okay, these are all. So I'll take this the normal one. The style is in the linear. Okay, and this is the angle. Suppose it is in 90 degrees. You can change this angle to this one. Okay, rather I'll take this linear, no, radial. So radial, it is giving, yeah, this kind of, yeah, yeah, I'll use this linear only. Linear is interesting, it is, yeah, this is okay. And check the opacity also. Yes, okay. Then scaleness, choose the scaleness. So here it is. Interesting. Or else manually you can do this, and the reset the alignment. You can reset everything into normal, and again the ditcher. So it is also what ditcher the gradient, and this is the method, perceptual and linear. So in the classic, suppose I'll give this as classic only, and again if you want make this as a default, or otherwise reset default. Okay, so switch up all these things, and I'll go with the inner shadow. This is inner shadow, and click on this again. See the plus marks, what the plus marks are showing here. The plus mark key, suppose already you added a stroke, and if you want to add more over on that, see the double impact, it is the double stroke. See now, switch off this one, reduce this one, and again add, and if you want one more time you can add. So it is covering deeply. So plus means you are adding the same double, right? Okay, and again here inner shadow. For the inner shadow, here again the multiply mode, it is the blend mode, and the distance, this is the distance. Okay, inner shadow, and shadow generally can be black only, or otherwise you can choose any color, right? Okay, and this is the choke value and the distance. Okay, so make it normal, and the size. Okay, so of this one, and the inner glow, take the glowness, and first to give the tick mark, and again click on the inner glow and choose the opacity. See, this is the white actually it is showing here, and the size you can increase the size, and if you want you can choose the a different color, then you will understand actually what is that. And it is in screen, make it normal. Okay, and this size, yes, now see this is okay, and again these are the sizes, and softer, and the center edge you can choose whatever it is. So I'm taking for the center and the size also, and go with the contours again. If you want, you can make the contours. Already we discussed about this. And the range, whichever the range you want, you can make it, and the jitterness, some jitterness, right? Okay. And the satin color, and the satinness means some darkness, like silkiness, right? It is adding. So you can go with this, and the color overlay. Okay. So for the remaining portion, I'll use some photograph, because these effects can look more beautifully on any face. I'll take any model face, so then it can be good. Okay, what the picture will take? Yes, it's any interesting pic you want to take. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not finding anything. Yeah, yes, this is. Yeah, I'll go with some pic. Yeah, I'll take this pic. Yeah, because the close-up header. Okay. So I'll remove quickly the background. How to remove that one? So go with object selection tool and click here. Select that one and make it reverse. Select inverse and simply deleted, and Control D, deselect, and make some background color to understand this one, and Alt backspace, fill with some color, and go with photograph and click on the same layer style. Yeah, I'll choose this. Now if you choose this, see the blend modes, you can give the nice blend modes. See, these are the blend modes. Already we used all these things, just I'm showing on the photograph again. Fatafat will do that. And stroke, otherwise texture. Yeah, texture we are using, so you can choose textures if you want. In the stroke, around the pic, you can choose any outline, something like, okay, that inner shadow, the shadowness, and inner glow, the glow portion, inner glow portion, we are giving something. In the satin color, this is the color overlay. Yeah, from here, see color overlay overlaid the default color here. Instead of this one, you can choose any of this color, and reduce the opacity here. If you reduce this one, you will understand the actual situation, right? Actual the effect. Okay, now you choose this one into multiply. See, your blue color is multiplied with the skin tone, right? And you can choose this lighten color and go with the overlay, and again take the difference. Difference is showing really differently. So see, these are saturations. This is nice, right? Impact, high impact it is giving. This color, the beautiful it is, the luminosity. Okay, and suppose I'm taking the color, right? Okay, and you can change this color if you want. So I'll go with some green, right? Very beautifully. See, these are nice. This is okay, and switch off this, and again gradient. See, again the gradient, it has some plus, so click on. So you are adding more blues, right? So don't want all these things. And color overlay, yeah, it is all already used. And the gradient overlay, see the gradient overlay, the gradient color here we are using. So this is what the both side it is showing one color only. The other side, so I can remove this one. Yeah, this is the color. I'm using some red color here. The other side I'm using some other color, right? Other color, and say OK. If you want, you can add one more color, no problem. Okay, yes, say OK. They can reduce the opacity here. Then you will understand actually what is happening. Okay, and do the blend mode also. So as usually depends on your requirement. So this is giving, right? So difference, and again the hue, and it is saturation, and it is color, right? So beautiful it is. So I'll go with normal again, and off this one, gradient overlay, and the pattern overlay. So patterns, this leaf pattern is there. You can check with any other pattern, otherwise, yeah, suppose this pattern I'm using, and scale this one, and reduce the opacity, then we will understand. Reduce the opacity, then we will understand this. Okay, and change this one. Okay, and go with the outer glow. It's a glow, it's a beautiful glow, right? So choose the color actually, the blue. That is interesting, right? Say OK, and change the mode to multiply. Yeah, and lighten, and here it is a screen. There's an overlay, and again all these you can change to color and luminosity, right? So I'll go with the multiply, or otherwise normal I'm going, right? Okay, and the softer are the precious, so I'll go with a softer. The spreadness, how much spreadness you want, and the scale also, the increase the scaleness, reduce the scaleness. Okay, and of course here we have a contour effects are there. You can give beautiful nice contour effects. See, it is interesting, right? It's a very interesting effects it is giving. And the range, of course, range, the jitterness means the roughness, right? Okay, outer glow, and then come with the drop shadow. So drop shadows mostly we use. Okay, drop shadow, you can choose any color. So but generally drop shadows are in black, and the opacity, this is the angle. Suppose the lighting is coming from this direction, and the shadow must be this side, and you can increase and decrease the opacity. Okay, and the spreadness you can choose, and the size, if you want your shadow with the smooth effect size, you can go with this, or otherwise make it sharp. This is okay. And the noisiness, if you want some noisiness, and of course you can go with all these contour effects, but it must be in this normal linear, right? Okay, and layer knocks out drop shadow, right? So use the obscure the shadow when fill it is transparent. So you can keep this and make default or reset to default, right? So these are all the layer styles, and here we have the stroke, inner shadow, what we already used all these things. Okay, if you want to delete any hidden effects, you can delete, or reset to default list, you can make it this as a default. Okay, so these are all. So these are what upwards and downwards. Suppose you are moving out, down and up. Okay, yeah, and if you want to delete this all, you can delete this, right? Okay, so I'll do with some pattern color glow. I'll take this one, and I'll save this as Disney, and that over pattern gradient overlay I'll take. Yeah, color overlay. Otherwise I'll take color overlay, and gradient I'll switch off this one, and click here. It is in color, and suppose luminosity, and the hue is saturation, so I'm taking yeah, I'll take this one. It's a blue. Interesting, right? So color, yeah. I'll save this as SD. Save. Okay, if you want to add all these effects to your design, so make it okay. Okay, right. So these are the layer effects, layer styles. So here also I'll give some effects like the gradient overlay. Yeah. Okay, so these are all the layer styles and the blending modes. This is the class for today, and I'll explain in the next class again, right? Thank you.